budget. Over the next week, I'm curious, Governor, as you're negotiating with the legislative leaders, what do you see as the top one or two things that you think are going to be most difficult to negotiate, where you might be farthest apart or just most difficult? And are you comfortable going past April 1st as we have in the past?
I've never done that before. I was joking, okay? You guys, so cynical. Anybody see Shucks, the play? All right, you need to get down to Schenectady. Go for a laugh once in a while, lighten up. It's good therapy. I'm not aiming for a late budget. We always strive for on-time budget. I've been trying to drive the conversations countless hours over the last week, the weekend, today, tonight. So we are in, overdrive in terms of trying to push this forward. The challenge is that the leaders take everything we've talked about. They now have to go back to their conferences. That's just the natural state of play. And then they'll bring back what the conferences say about what we thought we were getting close on, and then they'll head up in this direction. And then we're going to get back together, we're going to go back in this direction again. So that's just the rhythm of it. It doesn't mean things aren't going to happen. Watch the history of a lot of my initiatives in the past that were declared dead on arrival by people here, people in the press, and look at the ones that got through. So I don't stop negotiating at any point. We'll get it done. And the priorities I think you've seen outlined were my top priorities legislatively, which cell phones, no brainer, everybody, should not be complicated. Our discovery changes, which you heard here, are so important. Something that about 80% of the public wants, which is a change in our mental health laws that allow us to take care of people who are sick instead of leaving them on the streets, which is cruel. And we're going to look at a plan to try to get through a masked intimidation offense, where people that are using masks to intimidate others is not allowed. So those are areas that I've identified in the budget as priorities, but we have, I'd say those are tier one. Got about 150 in tier two, but a lot of these also can break loose and be dealt with in the legislative session. Not my top four, but the other ones.
All right, we got last one. Which one of you raised your hand first?
I did.
All right, we'll take two. Jimmy, you can
That's
start.
easy for you to say.
Sorry.
I thought I was getting out of here with just one of these characters. Okay.
Governor, I'm just wondering, right now, do I intend to harass you?
We also have exceptions for medical reasons.
For medical reason. Do I intend to harass you?
Yes.
Okay. How would you know that, and how would a law
Because-
enforcement officer know that?
There's a way to define this that'll be worked on in the legislation if this goes forward for this language. But medical and religious reasons. Are you telling me you're not wearing it for medical reason? Why are you wearing it, Jimmy? We're not wearing it for a medical reason.
I'd rather not say why I'm wearing it.
Okay, I don't know the answer whether they're using it for a medical reason or not based on what you're
But
saying.
you're backing a proposal that would make it an arrestable offense if my intent was to harass.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, how would you discern my intent? Or how would one
We'll have
discern my
criteria.
intent?
All legislation has criteria that clearly spells out what must be factored in determining whether an offense. It's not going to be broad-based. It's not just going to be one sentence. It'll clearly be defined in the legislation. That's how legislation happens. You have to give clear criteria so anyone knows what the expectations are.
Backing up on the masks, why haven't you been out pushing for this publicly, like cell phones, like the discovery changes and the other parts of the budget that you want?
I have talked about it since last June, which is earlier than I started talking about some of these other initiatives, so I have. Whether or not the press covers it is up to the press.
It wasn't in your executive budget.
No, this is one I decided to wait.
Why? And
I
what
have different strategies. You can look at past years on other issues that have come up later and have been successful. So,
any relation to your conversation with the president?
oh no, that didn't come up. I didn't talk about masks with him, unless they're telling you I did, but if they're telling you that, that's not true.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.